Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on one of the most common verbs in German, Mögen. Now, it seems simple on the surface, but trust me, it's got a few little surprises, so let's get right into it. All right, let's just start with a super common situation. Imagine this, you're in Germany, you've just had the best piece of apple strudel of your entire life, and you want to say, wow, I like this. How would you do that? What's the one verb you absolutely need to know? Well, the verb you're looking for is mögen. So in this first part, we're just going to cover the basics, to really see how this powerful little word works. Okay, so at its heart, it's actually really simple. Mögen is the German verb for to like. That's it. Whether you're talking about a thing, a person, or even an activity, this is your starting point. But here's where we hit our first little twist. See, mögen isn't just any old verb. It's a special type called a modal verb. Now, don't let that term scare you. It simply means it's kind of a helper verb. It helps change the meaning or the mood of other verbs in a sentence. Yet, this quote here compares modal verbs to music, which I think is a fantastic way to think about it. Or here's another way. A modal verb is like adding a filter to a photo on your phone. You take a basic sentence and boom, you completely change its mood or its feeling. And in the case of mögen, it's the filter that transforms a simple statement into an expression of liking something. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the mechanics. Now, conjugating mögen can seem a little tricky, mostly because it's irregular. But here's the thing, forget about just memorizing boring charts. We're gonna crack a code. And it all comes down to one big, important rule you have to remember. And here it is. This is the key. This is the core rule you need to know, the vowel shifts. That ö sound in mögen actually changes to an a when you're talking in the singular. That's for I, you, he, she, and it. So just keep an eye out for this shift on the next slide. All right, so this slide lays it all out for us perfectly. Just look at the pattern. Ich mag, du magst, sie, es mag. See that? That a sound is there for all the singular forms. But then as soon as we jump to the plural forms, it snaps right back to that original ö sound. Wir mögen, ihr mögt, sie mögen. See? Once you spot that pattern, it's not so scary after all, right? And you know what? Here's another awesome shortcut in our little code. For modal verbs like mögen, the form for ich, that's I, and sie, es, he, she, it, they are always identical. So once you know ich mag, you automatically know mag or sie mag. It's basically a 2-for-1 deal. Okay, that's enough theory for now. Let's see how mögen actually works in a real conversation. So here's a question you're going to hear and probably use all the time. Wen oder was magst du? Which just means who or what do you like? And notice that magst form used for do, you, it's exactly what we just saw in that table. And a simple, direct answer could be this. Ich mag dich. I like you. See? You're using that ich mag form we just learned. And just like that, you've had a basic, real conversation in German. Now, here's a quick little pro tip for you. Did you notice we say ich mag dich and not ich mag du? Well, that's because the person or the thing that's being liked is the direct object. And in German grammar, that means it's in what's called the accusative case. It's a small detail, I know, but it makes a huge difference in sounding natural. Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground in a pretty short amount of time. So let's boil all of this down to the absolute must-know essentials. Here are your key takeaways. All right, let's run through the 3 golden rules one more time. First, at its very core, mögen simply means to like. Easy. Second, you gotta remember that crucial vowel swap. The becomes an a in the singular forms. And third, that handy shortcut. The ich form and the sie or s forms are always the same. If you can just remember those 3 things, you have totally cracked the code of mögen. And that's it. You've officially done it. You've cracked the code of mögen. You are now totally equipped to start talking about your likes and dislikes in German. But as you get more advanced, you're going to meet its very close cousin, the verb möchten. So what's the difference between them? Well, that's a whole other story and a topic for another time.